There comes a time in every person's life where the world seems to have thrown them into a pit of chaos, into the very heart of darkness. It's not a place many willingly venture into. No one desires to be broken, to face the raw, unforgiving truth of their own frailties. But here's the reality. If you truly want to rebuild yourself, if you wish to transcend the person you are today, it is in that darkness that you must begin. It is in the dark where the seed of transformation takes root, where the illusion of comfort is stripped away, and only the bare truth remains. This is your wake-up call. The time has come to rebuild, not simply in the way society instructs you to hustle harder, grind every day, or wake up earlier, but to rebuild from the deepest, most hidden parts of your soul. You must study your darkness as though it were a vast and endless universe waiting to be explored. Because it is only in understanding your chaos that you can bring about order. The kind of order that leads to true greatness. Many people search for answers in the light, but few realize that light often blinds us to the truths buried within. The comfortable brightness of happiness, success, and fleeting joys lulls us into a state of complacency. We coast, content with the illusion of security, convinced that we are doing all that is required of us. But when life takes a turn, when adversity strikes and pulls us into the shadows, we quickly realize that we've been avoiding the most essential part of growth, the dark moments. And make no mistake, these dark moments are inevitable. Life will break you again and again, and it is in these moments that you must make a choice. Will you retreat, or will you study the darkness, using it as a tool to rebuild yourself into something greater? This is the journey of self-reconstruction, and it is not for the faint of heart. You see, anyone can survive happiness, but to thrive in adversity, that requires a different level of discipline, one that cannot be achieved unless you're willing to embrace the darkest parts of yourself. You must go deep, past the surface-level struggles, and into the very core of your being. This is where the real work begins. Consider the mind like a cluttered garage. Over time, we accumulate experiences, emotions, and unresolved conflicts that pile up in disorder. Imagine trying to fit something new, like discipline or consistency, into that chaotic mess. It doesn't fit. The weight of unresolved trauma, unaddressed insecurities, and mental clutter will eventually cause you to break down, no matter how hard you try to maintain order. So what must you do? You must clear out that mental garage. Begin by examining what fills your mind. Is it fear, resentment, doubt? What are the recurring thoughts that clutter your daily existence? You must confront these mental roadblocks, one by one. Just as you cannot park a car in a garage overflowing with junk, you cannot build a disciplined, focused life when your mind is filled with unresolved issues. Clearing space isn't glamorous, it's brutal, painful, and deeply personal. You'll uncover parts of yourself that you've buried long ago, memories and emotions that you've been avoiding. But here's the truth. You will not rebuild yourself until you've cleaned house. Only then can you make space for discipline, for consistency, for the relentless pursuit of becoming something more. There's a quote that haunts me. Only those who are willing to risk going too far can possibly find out how far one can go. Most people live in fear of this truth. They live lives bound by safety, never daring to push themselves beyond the limits society imposes on them. They settle for mediocrity, for comfort, for a life lived in fear of failure. But this is not your destiny. To rebuild yourself, you must be willing to risk everything. You must be willing to fail, to be mocked, to be misunderstood. You must be willing to lose parts of yourself in the fire of transformation, knowing that what emerges on the other side will be stronger, wiser, and more powerful than you can currently imagine. The fear of failure is a prison that traps many, but those who rebuild themselves, those who rise from the ashes, do not fear failure, they embrace it. Because failure is not the end, it is merely a step on the path to greatness. When you risk going too far, when you challenge the very boundaries of what you believe is possible, you will discover a strength within you that you never knew existed. This is where the real rebuilding happens, not in safety, not in comfort, but in the moments when you push yourself beyond your limits. To rebuild, you must first destroy. It may sound paradoxical, but the process of becoming someone new involves a complete disintegration of who you were before. The old beliefs, the old habits, the old identity, they must all be burned away in the fire of transformation. This is a painful process. In fact, it will feel as though parts of you are dying, screaming in agony as they are torn away. But this is necessary, for the parts of you that cling to comfort, that fear change, that avoid risk, these are the very parts that are holding you back. Imagine a phoenix rising from the ashes. This is your journey. Before you can rise, you must allow the flames of adversity to consume your old self. You must face the parts of yourself that you've avoided for so long, the parts that you know must be changed if you are ever to reach your full potential. But here's the thing. The pain of this process is what makes it meaningful. It is what gives you the strength to keep going when others would give up. The man or woman who rebuilds themselves after falling, who rises again and again despite the pain, that is where true glory lies. There will be times on this journey when you will be utterly alone. The people around you may not understand what you're going through. They may even mock your efforts to rebuild yourself, but you must remain steadfast, for the greatest transformations often happen in solitude. Solitude is not something to be feared. It is a gift. It is in the quiet moments, away from the noise and distractions of the world, that you will find clarity. It is in the solitude of your own mind that you will discover who you truly are. When the world forgets your good deeds and remembers only your mistakes, when it seems as though no one cares about your struggle, remember this: the only person who needs to believe in you is yourself. No one else can walk this path for you. No one else can do the work of rebuilding your life. The time has come. This is your wake-up call, your invitation to rebuild yourself from the ground up. You will not find the answers in the light. They lie in the darkness, in the depths of your own soul. The process will be painful. You will face failure, doubt, and moments of crushing loneliness. But every challenge you face, every obstacle you overcome, will bring you closer to the person you were always meant to be. This is not a journey for the faint of heart. But if you are willing to risk it all, if you are willing to face the darkness head-on, you will rebuild yourself into something stronger, something more resilient, something truly extraordinary. Wake up. The time is now. Rebuild yourself, not because it is easy, but because it is the only path to true greatness. And remember this: it is in the moments when you feel weakest, when the world seems to be falling apart around you, that you are being given the greatest opportunity of all. The chance to rebuild yourself into something new, something unstoppable. This is your time. Embrace the darkness.